because, like I said, April the 21st. I'm just gonna go into detail. I'm gonna go into detail. April 21st of this year, I wanted to relax. I thought, I wanted to. That's why yesterday I went to go see my doctor so I can get on some type of medication or whatever, so I can relax, ease my anxiety, so on and so forth. So that's what I try to do. April 21st. So that day I was ripping and running, handling some business, so on and so forth. And it was early in the day. It was like 3 or 4. So I went to Coventry, right around where we live at in Cleveland Heights, to try to get some edibles. I've been wanting to get those for the longest. Some type of a CBD, something that can calm your nerves and calm your anxiety and all that good stuff. But I got THC and CBD, and I just figured that it'll calm me down. I don't smoke, I don't do all that drinking and stuff like that. But we all know cannabis, it helps with shit. It helps with glaucoma. It helps with your mental. It even helps with Parkinson's disease. So it helps. So I figured, let me take a little bit. I don't smoke, but let me go ahead and do it the other way. But the thing about it was, Melly, this didn't had nothing to do with that. This didn't have. Let's just nip that in the bud. This was a spiritual thing, very spiritual. And I want to let you know, and it's funny too, because yesterday the doctor said the same thing you said. She said, because for some odd reason we brought up, she said, "What you do? What's your hobbies?" And I said, "Well, I used to write." And I told her one of my quotes from God's Great Warrior, my book, and she said the same thing. You said, "Oh, you should try to write," and so on and so forth, and But anyway, I want to let you know what happened. What I'm about to tell you is, when I went into the psych ward, is because I had a panic attack. I had a panic attack. I had an anxiety attack, and I was a little suicidal at the time. But after what I'm about to tell you, I ain't suicidal no more. Depression comes and goes. It still comes and goes because he's gonna test us. But all that suicide shit it's a no go. So I went in the psych ward for that. It's not because I was hallucinating or I'm seeing shit or I'm hearing shit. None of that. Because this happened multiple times. Let me give you an example. When I was 9, it seemed like it happens when I'm 9. Like every 9 or 10 years, it seemed like this happens. The first time this ever happened, a spiritual thing, was when I was 9 years old. And I'm just getting chill bumps thinking about it. And at the time, I was bad. I was bad as hell when I was around that time. I was Adam. Like how Adam was, that's how I was. And it switched. From now, I'm reserved, and Adam used to be that way. So my half sister on my father's side, she died, I think, of a heart attack or asthma. And so we had her obituary and stuff like that. I don't even remember going to her funeral. But since I was so bad, and my mother at the time didn't know, my mother used to put her obituary picture on the wall right in front of my bed. And I kid you not, Melly, this is in 2000. It's funny because that was the same time when I got on SSI. But this is in 2000 when I was 9 years old. My mother would put her obituary on the wall and leave. And the moment she left, and I was in that dark room all by myself, I would see my dead sister floating right in front of my bed, at the foot of my bed. I remember it like it was yesterday. That was 21 years ago when I was 9. She would be floating in an all-white, beautiful gown, like an angel. I didn't even see her feet. I couldn't see her feet or nothing. I just remember her pouty lips, and just she had this stare. And she'd be floating right at the edge, at the foot of my bed, and just floating. And I was, Ma, just screaming my head off, man, just screaming my head off. And the moment my mother come in, that's when she just leaves. She disappeared. 9. That's the first incident. So we skipped like 9-10 years later, from 2000 to 2009. Now I'm 18 now. I'm in Superior Road, that place I was just talking about when I first left to get my own spot. The place that was right across from Kane Park is 9 years now. I'm 18. This is when the depression, this is when I started thinking, being suicidal, and started thinking, and I went to you and said, "Hey, Melly, how do you drop out?" Because I used to always say to myself, I see motherfuckers dropping out left and right, and I want to drop out because I just got tired of school. That's when the depression started to hit, and that's when the second spiritual occurrence happened. So I was 18, and usually what happens is I used to wake up at 7 o'clock all the time. Well, me, Ray, and Adam, and Jada, we used to all wake up at 7 to go to school. I'm a senior in Cleveland Heights High School. I used to wake up at 7 o'clock. So this particular time, I woke up 5 minutes before 7. It was 6:55, and everybody was asleep. And I'm like, oh, okay, I got 5 minutes to go to sleep. I look at the clock, and it's the room. I'm gonna show you what place that was. So in that video that I just sent you, I was 21 at the time. But a couple of years later, like I was saying, when I was 18, so 5 minutes before 7. 1 second, let me turn this thing down. AJ, here, let me see that real quick. It's kind of loud. That's Adam's youngest child. I mean, not youngest, but his oldest child. Let me turn this down just a little bit, little man. All right, here you go. So anyway, so 5 minutes before 7. It's 6:55, right? So I'm like, okay, I got 5 minutes to go to sleep. I lay back down, and when I close my eyes, I instantaneously fall into a deep sleep, Melly. Deep sleep paralysis. Don't you know, when everybody making all them funny jokes about the sleep paralysis demon in my room, and all that, basically sleep paralysis, where your mind wakes up but your body is still asleep. So anyway, I close my eyes and I instantly fall into a deep sleep. I kid you not. And now I can't move. I'm laying in my bed, I can't move, and all of a sudden I'm taken up into space. I'm into space now. I had an out-of-body experience. I'm into space, and I see these stars, and they go up in a line, and then they form into like a circle, and in the middle of that circle is a lion. I'm a Leo, I'm a Leo. So I don't know if that I didn't know what that means. And then all of a sudden, I'm back in my room. All of a sudden, I'm back in my room, in bed, still can't move. And don't you know, like, so I was laying close to the wall. So in that video, when I panned to the bed, I was, and my alarm clock was right there. I was right by the wall, which was on my right hand side. So I'm back in bed, right? And all of a sudden, my head turns to the right side to face the wall. And all of a sudden, I see words in Hebrew. I see words in Hebrew, and it's like dark. It's dark, and I see words in Hebrew. And all of a sudden, I break this trance, and I jump up, and just like 9 years ago, I get up, Ma, and I told her everything at that time. So 2000, when I saw my... So just to recap, 2000, when I saw my sister, and then 9 years later, when that happened, and then another thing happened that same year. I was in my ceramics class, Miss Townsend class, a real nice-looking older woman. She was in her 60s, real sexy. They cool, real cool, too. So she was, so we had a substitute teacher that day. And, like most students, when a teacher ain't there, they leave. So all the kids was gone, and me being me, I'm the only one that showed up and stayed. It was just me and a substitute, white guy. So we sitting over there chopping it up, so on and so forth. And all of a sudden, he bring up the fact that he's a ghost hunter. He like, yeah, I do ghost hunting on the side, paranormal activity, and all this other good stuff. And I'm like, bruh, you can't do that, because it says in the Bible that no one shall contact the dead but God. And I told him, you can bring that with you. When you go and do that as a hobby, nigga, you can bring that stuff with you. And he said, yeah, you right. Because there's plenty of times when I came back to the house and I saw stuff move and so on and so forth. And then the moment he said that, I look outside. No. The moment he said that, so where we at, there's like a hallway. There's like the main hallway, and then in Miss Townsend's class, there's like a little alley or like a little a dead end with his own hallway and multiple classrooms in that hallway. So when he said that, the hallway that the classroom was located at, the light went out. When he said that, the light went out outside the room, outside the classroom. And me and him looked at it like, wait a minute. So I'll step outside and I'll look left to look outside the main hall, you know, the hallway and stuff like that, where the lockers and stuff was at, and the lights was on. And then I looked across from the classroom I was in and looked in the other rooms, and their light was on. But for some odd reason, that hallway, that light was off. So I'm like, wait a minute, it's, you know, kind of creepy, you know, whatever. I sit back down, and we just looking. It was just awkward, quiet silence. And so I'm sitting at the left hand side on down at a desk, and he's sitting up top at the teacher's desk. Tell me why a ruler that was right in between us, that was like, I say, not in the middle of the desk, but basically it was stationed right on the desk. It was on the desk. It was in the middle, but it was on the desk. That motherfucker moved left and fell right off the desk and fell right in between me and him. And once that happened, that light in the hallway turned on, and then the bell rang. I got up like, oh, time to go. And I left. That's the third incident. Like the ruler, me and him seen it. As we was just sitting there just thinking, like, wait a minute, it just didn't feel right, you know. The ruler moved from left-hand side, falling right off the desk, right off the teacher's desk, and fell right in between me and him on the floor. And the light in the hallway came on and the bell rang. Crazy. So this is real. This is real, Melly. The spirit, all that stuff is real. So, another incident. That was in 2009. So about 9 years later, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Wait, let me think. So 2000. Yeah, 2000. So this was recent. Yeah. Last year. So I was 28 at the time. And let me think. What was it this year? I'm trying to think, was it this year? Because like I said, I got out the psych ward January the 7th, 2020. It was last year. It was sometime last year. So I was planning on doing the deed. I was planning on going upside my head with a 22 Heritage Rough Rider revolver, one of them cowboy pistols back in the day. You know, that's the memories why I bought it in October 2019. But I was procrastinating. So I planned on doing it this time. You know, I wanted to do it downtown in the middle of town square or whatever. You know, middle of public square. I wanted to do it there. And then I wanted to do it in Tower City right at the fountain. And then I said, no, I just do it at Cleveland Heights, Severance, at the abandoned theater, you know. And I was just, you know, well, the first time I tried to do it, I went to Kane Park. And I had my music playing. It was like late at night, like 2, 3 o'clock. And I was about to do it. I had a gun and everything. And I went to one of the benches, right where they used to do like the little concert. And I had the gun. And I put the gun up against my head, and I had my finger on the trigger, and I was about to do it, Melly. 2019. I was about to do it, but I just couldn't do it. So like that inner voice kept telling me, "Don't do it." That inner voice kept telling me, "Don't do it. You're gonna regret it. Don't do it." And I go back to the house. I regretted doing it. I regretted not doing it. And so now it's 2020. I just got out of the psych ward, and I'm now about to try to do it again. But this time I'm sitting on our porch. It's late at night. Everybody upstairs. I'm on the porch. I got a suicide note in hand. I got the gun and it's right at my head, and no safety, just like the last time. And I was about to do it. But tell me why. I saw it was a black cat just came out of nowhere, and it just kept pacing right in between, right in front of my house. A black cat just kept pacing right in front of my house, and it just kept looking at me. And then all of a sudden it went to my left and disappeared, and then it reappeared on my right, like it went to my left, and it like went around, and then all of a sudden it's right there, right at the stoop of my porch on my right hand side, and it just was like, and then it was about to thunder that day too, so I didn't do it. I felt something, and I didn't do it. So I go back to the house. I walk back inside the house, and I'm disappointed again that I didn't do it. And I'm sitting there, and my mother, she comes in, and I say hey to her, and then she go to sleep in the first living room, because we got two living rooms that's connected. That's connected. So she go in the first living room, pass out, and eventually I try to go to sleep. So I turn around, I lay back, and the moment I close my eyes, Melly, boo-boo, I woke up. I'm like, what? I closed my eyes again. Boo-boo, I woke up again. I didn't even wake up because I wasn't asleep. I closed my eyes for a third time. Boo-boo. The moment every time I closed my eyes, I kept hearing my mother say, boo-boo. So I got up, and I went in the first living room, and my mother was dead asleep. She was asleep. My mother was knocked out. But every time I close, I kid you not, Melly, every time I close my eyes, and I wasn't even like, I closed my eyes and I try to go to sleep, I close my eyes and my mother would scream, boo-boo! And I opened my eyes again. And my mother was in the other living room, knocked out. So, God, man, Yahweh, and he really got on me this time. This last and final time, man. So, April, and it was this year. That was last year, what I just said. This was this year. So, April 21st, and I didn't do this because of 2020. April 20th, April 20, 420. Oh, don't touch the TV, little man. Don't touch the TV. So, I just did this because I wanted to relax. I wanted to relax. I wanted to calm my nerves. I'm so anxious. I'm so I can a lot of times I can't look a person in the eye because that's a sign of depression. I can't even step outside and go to the corner store for the most part because I'm just so anxious at times. So I wanted to relax. I wanted to just ease all of that. So I went to the Coventry and I got some stuff, some edibles. Keep in mind, it wasn't the edibles. I told you all that stuff that I told you just to set up that it wasn't the edibles. And it's funny too because my mother, she happened to take some. Well, this is before me, way before me. She took a little something, and she. So my cousin came in, and I was about to tell you the story, so I'm about to tell her the story. So let's come here. So anyway, yeah. So okay. So look. So I'm telling you, Melly, and I'm telling say hey, cousin. This Melly. What it, Melly? Okay. So anyway, so I took some I got some THC, some stuff at Coventry, and I try to take it to relax. What, CBD? To THC and CBD to try to relax, but that's not what's about to happen. All of that was not. That's just. Well, I'm just about to tell you. So anyway, it's so funny that you came in as I was telling them. So I go upstairs and it's 3 o'clock. It's 3 o'clock at night. It's April 21st. Everybody's asleep. I figured if I take this right now and I start acting crazy or, because edibles, yeah, it gets you some type of way. At least I'm upstairs. I'm away from people's, whatever. That was my wrong mistake because I took 50 milligrams of THC, chocolate, and then 20 milligrams of gummies, THC, and then 12.5 milligrams of CBD, but 6. I took 6 of those, and it's 12.5. But that's nothing. I'm just telling you how much I took. So at first, I didn't feel nothing. I didn't feel nothing at first. But all of a sudden, my throat began to get dry. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. It was starting to get hard to breathe, and it's 3 o'clock at night.
How long did that take?
No. Like it took a while. My throat. I just remember that my throat started getting dry. So I go downstairs to get some water. I'm getting chill bumps thinking about it. It's April 21st that this happened. I get a cup of water. I go upstairs. I drink the water, and then I sit down, put the water right by my bed. All of a sudden, my throat. All of a sudden, my throat started getting super dry, and that's when the effects start to happen. That's when I start feeling weird. I'm thinking, okay, it's an edibles, whatever. So I'm laying down like this. Don't you know where the bed is at upstairs and right by the vent? So I'm laying like this. I'm trying to get straight, and then all of a sudden I lay back. The moment I lay back and I close my eyes, that's when I couldn't move. The moment I lay back and I close my eyes, TJ, I couldn't move. And then as I was trying to breathe, every time I kept breathing, every time I tried to breathe, it kept getting tight. So it was like this. Just breathe. Just try to breathe. Just breathe right now. Every time I did that, it's like it was like bam, bam. Yes, no. Yeah. I was just feeling it. Yeah, I was feeling it in my chest. And it's like breathing, but it's like your breath was getting tighter.
Labor breathing.
Yeah. Or it was like this was literally how it happened. It was like
Get it out or catch it.